Okay, I did a little sewing. You know, I'm just playing with these components here. Sometimes it's good to have a lot of something so you can just do a lot of variations. Here I just did a what I call a double running stitch, which comes out fairly reversible if you want it to. And I left the knots on the right side here so that they kind of, well, it just forms a nice kind of fringe. Fringe being my symbol for continuing, it was sort of appropriate, I think. And I did one here where the, you know, like we talked about using two triangles and folding them and seaming them together, but on this one I just kind of folded the center just to manipulate the whiteness in between to something a little thinner. So I sort of took a tuck and then I did the stitching over it, and in that way it looks like a seam, but it's also a way to use that fold factor to just kind of change the configuration a little bit. And this one I did the fold also, but as I started to stitch I just couldn't really figure out what was going on, so I just kept going. I guess you call that intuitive stitching a little bit. So I ended up with something that wasn't quite sure of who it was or what it was becoming or how long that would take, but it's still an interesting sort of free form stitch. You know, I really like pairing these with the moon. It's an interesting exercise in scale since these seem so large here. But then, you know, I looked at this again, you know, I'm just really feeling a little bit unsure of a lot of things lately, so I thought, you know, what about, you know, we think about becoming and everything. I just thought, how about something really small? So I'm considering, I think, just, well, I'll cut this probably, but folding is also a way to experiment a little bit with scale and things. I think sometimes what I really want to do is become smaller. So this is a way to maybe have more than one scale together, right? Actually, you know, then you're going to end up with leftovers, so those could become something else. It could be really small, actually, right? I might be able to make some tiny squares to piece into something.